Woohoo! All right, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Oh, it's been 3 weeks. Tumultuous and amazing times. I'm telling you, things are leveling up. Have you ever, you guys, everybody in both of our tribes, have you ever felt like you are on the river of life, but you're holding on to your inner tube? You're not even in a raft or in an inner tube going hitting the rapids, and you're questioning even if your life vest is working properly. Yeah, that's what the last three literally white knuckling, but keeping up because you're loving the rapids, right? It's an adventure. Wonderful things are happening and you're scared to death, right? Yeah, that was the last 3 weeks for me. So I don't know how the last 3 weeks works for you, Jennifer, but I understand you've had some amazing questions come up.
Oh my gosh, I've had so many questions. I know we can't get to all of them today, but today I really wanted to focus on real estate agents. Have been asking this question a lot. So focusing on, my tribe of real estate agents, but also entrepreneurs. Anybody who's a business owner is the same as a real estate agent when we're talking about this. So we're talking about business strategies with your business credit. And specifically, we're talking about your vehicle. So what is important now as real estate agents? So often we lease a vehicle. We're constantly getting a new one, like every 2 years, 3 years. So this is a conversation we have often. And of course, one thing that we've talked about before is there's tax strategies. So you do want to talk to your tax person about it. But from a business credit side, so let's talk about 3 different things. Number one, do you just go to the dealership and just take whatever financing they have, leasing or buying? Do you take that? Number 2, do you go ahead and go to your business bank, wherever you're doing your banking with your business, your LLC, C Corp, whatever you have, and get an actual line of credit there or a loan for the car? Or number 3, and I can't believe how many people have asked me this question, do you go ahead and just put it on your American Express or on a credit card and then transfer it to like a zero balance as a strategy for not only paying the least amount in there, but also trying to find a way to build your business lines of credit and not personal? So I know that's a mouthful, but
there are benefits and there are problems and awesome benefits to each one of those. It really depends on what we're doing. So let's bust these out. All right. First of all, the first one is, do we just go down to the dealership, negotiate the best we can? And by the way, there's not a whole lot of negotiation because, like homes, they're almost a bidding war on some of these cars. They're like, hey, it's $5,000 above MSRP. And if you don't buy it, that guy over there on the lot will. So buy or die, right? So do we do the best we can? And then do we go into and take the financing? Well, as you've seen in my boot camp, there is a strategy for actually taking in your myfico.com credit report, find your best auto score, which is listed there, and using that to make sure that they select the right kind of the right financing for you. Because I'm going to tell, this is the Reader's Digest condensed version, but you have 9 credit scores, and the the dealer is going to shop all banks that have all of those scores, and they're going to choose the lowest score and kind of stick it to you with the highest payment, and then they get paid by the lender for setting them up with the loan. So if you're going to do that route, you need to make sure you are fully empowered. We save our clients literally $5,000 to $10,000 per loan on every car loan because they know how to do this strategy. So yes, you can do it. The prices are generally higher than they used to be, and so you need to know what it takes to save as much money as you possibly can because you're already paying a premium. Number 2, do you go to a bank and finance it through your business? Well, good news is that yes, it's possible. Bad news is it usually requires a significant relationship with that bank, meaning you've been there a while, you've been running all your payments and your commissions and everything through that bank. They're going to ask you for 6 to 12 months worth of those statements to see if they can trust your business to be able to pay for it. They will also generally want a P&L and or the last couple of years of tax returns. We call it a full doc loan. It's manual underwriting. So yes, you may be able to do so, but they're gonna want you to prove up the old-fashioned way. When you go into the dealership and use your personal credit, that's automatic underwriting, and they're just going to do the math off your credit profile, look at your borrower behaviors, look at your score, and give you, and then you got to make sure they're using the right score from the right bureau in order for you to save the most amount of money. So, but it is possible. It's just full doc. Okay. And then your third strategy is, why don't I just put it on my Amex, any credit card, and then balance transfer it to a 0% and then pay 0%, right? Well, first of all, even though there's a premium on cars, there's already 0% financing. If you have the right credit score, there's 0% financing through what are called captured finance companies like Toyota, Ford Motor Credit, Toyota Motor Credit. Everybody has their own. Every manufacturer has their own financing arm. That's called captured financing, and most of those are whatever, 60 months, 72 months of 0% financing. So you got to ask yourself, what are you buying by putting it on your credit card and then getting a 0% credit card? Now, if you do that strategy, if you get a 0% credit card on your personal side and you charge it up, you are now ruining your balance to limit ratio or utilization. You're killing your fundability. You're killing your credit score because you just put a $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 purchase on a card that you're going to carry for the next few commission cycles, months. It could be a few weeks. It could be a few months. It could be a couple of years even. And the slower you pay that down, the longer your bad reputation is going to precede you in you looking good to other lenders. So but if you do that with a loan from a captured finance, a 0% loan from a captured finance company, loans don't negative 100%. $50,000 loan, $30,000 loan does not negatively impact your credit like a revolving account would. So of these three, I like the third strategy least, Jennifer, because we don't want to carry the 0% is not the issue. It's carrying a high balance on a credit card, even for 1, 2, 3, 4 months. And by the way, the way loans work for FICO and lending software, if a loan is on your credit report for less than 6 months, you don't even get credit. It doesn't do anything for you. They want it to be for that up to 24 months or longer. Mm-hmm. So those are great questions, Jennifer.
I have one more. I have one more. So a fourth one that was, as you were saying that, I remember one of the other questions that I had is for people that, especially for real estate flippers, people who flip houses and they get these big chunks of money. One of the other ones they were asking me about, especially like getting a truck, getting a new, it's another new vehicle for the entrepreneur, the real estate investor, not necessarily the real estate agent. But one of the things that they asked was, what about just paying cash? And again,
all right. So I love this. So it depends on what your value set is, right? Because if you don't want any debt, just remember that having no debt, the credit bureaus, FICO, and lenders need to see a faithful monthly payment process so they can measure your borrower behaviors. So if you buy a substantial purchase like an auto loan, $20, $30, $50 or more $1,000, that's a substantial loan. That looks good. And if you pay that in cash, then first of all, what are your opportunity costs for not using that $20, $30, $50,000 as your next part of your next your skin in the game for a hard money loan? Or, well, how can you leverage that $20, $30, $50,000? And what money are you losing by putting it into an auto loan that could be zero interest? It's not costing you anything. But the idea is that I don't want debt and you're a real estate investor is flawed. I'm going to call it like it is. It is flawed. We want strategic debt. We want debt that lenders want to see and FICO loves to measure, that shows that we are a professional borrower rather than a consumer. You buy a car straight out with cash, that's consumer behavior. I want to save interest. I don't want payments. I don't want the psychic drag of having payments. Well, that's all consumer behavior. And you're not going to get $1 million commercial loans and blanket loans from organizations that are the cheapest money possible. The commercial divisions of the top 39 banks, tier 1 and tier 2 banks, cheapest money possible. So we got to ask ourselves, do you want to not have the bank tap your checking account once a month automatically because there's no psychic drag to having an auto draft? Or do you want the lowest cost possible to spread your borrower behavior reputation and make you look like a credit and funding god or goddess? You're just a bulletproof borrower, right? If that's your strategy, then you got to know that we need strategic debt and strategic debt can be one auto, one home loan, maybe a student loan or other instrument that allows them to measure how you pay. You lose points when you pay it off. They want to see how faithful you are every single month. If we give them that, and that's what the Get Fundable, getfundablejennifer.com is going to help you do, you guys, is find out what the rules of this game are, right? The boot camp allows you to truly understand all the things we're talking about. It's not hard. It is not hard at all. It is detailed, but there are ways to automate it and make it simple, elegant, and effortless. All right. So that last strategy is buying it outright. Man, give me your $30,000. I'll buy you the car. Give me the $30,000 in cash. And then I'll make the payments, and I'll have the payments for your car titled to you. I'll do that deal with anybody. You give me $50,000. I'll buy the car. I'm in the credit business. I'm flawless in my execution. I will get a 0% interest loan, and I will leverage the hell out of that $20,000, $30,000, or $50,000. I'll do that deal for anybody who's listening today.
And so I want to also highlight what you said about for the boot camp is that you go into a lot of detail about the auto loans and particularly the different the different softwares that they use. And again, knowing and understanding the difference between the software that a mortgage lender is going to use and what that score is going to be and which version of it is going to be versus the auto score. And so if you're really interested in finding out more, I highly recommend that you go to boot camp.
Yeah.
We got that link up there.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the Fundability Bootcamp at getfundablejennifer.com, because you guys, I'm telling you, it is a PhD in the simplicity of being a strategic borrower. Straight up.
And I want to say one thing. This is hilarious because, my brother watches us and I didn't even know. He told me after he registered, he paid, he was getting his stuff in the mail from you for the boot camp. He was getting his homework. And then he started asking me questions. And I was like, I didn't even know you had registered. He loved the boot camp. And the thing is, it's interactive. You talk to people, you say their names, they get to ask questions. And I think that's one of the things that is so different about other people that are out there. And they don't understand like you do. It's really like at a PhD level rather than so many people, they think they know what they're talking about. And that's just like when anyone brings up Credit Karma, which we won't go down that rabbit hole, but the fake scores that people are basing their financial future on
is
so important. I know.
Exactly. Yeah. It was great to have your brother there. And it is a lot of fun, you guys, because it's very interactive. There are 32 strategies we review and a couple of bonus ones if we have enough time. And after every one, we take questions. It's an interaction about your particular situation and how to apply that strategy to your situation. So I'm thrilled. And Jennifer, I can't wait for well, we always have a great time, but have guys be here, same Fundable time, same Fundable channel next week, because we're going to, which is noon Eastern on Wednesday. Oh man, we have so much great intel about just what's going on in the mortgage market, what's happening with, don't say anything, foreclosures, what's going on out there that nobody's talking about. Do not miss next week. All right.
I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing. I have goosebumps just thinking about that. I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing. So you don't want to miss next week.
Okay, you guys. Hey, we'll see you, Jennifer. It's always the highlight of my Wednesdays, especially, right? Because we get to spend this time to strategize. So everybody be well, and we will talk to you guys